What is going on, everybody? Thanks for listening to the Love All Sales podcast. Today, we're going to talk about something very personable to me. This is the first time that I've really came out in the terms of talking about my family, my stepdad, what's going on right now. About a month ago, he was rushed to the hospital. He was in there for about a month, roughly speaking, about 4 weeks, found out that he had cancer. He's retired. This person means so much to me. Jerry is one of the hardest working people that I've ever came across in my entire life. He would work third shift. He would coach my little league teams. This man means so much to me. So there for a while, I quit making content because I was just messed up, just mentally. I just needed some break, some time to literally just kind of mentally adapt to what's going on. Visiting him in the hospital, just thinking about life. And I remember the first time that I went and seen him, actually the second time I went and seen him inside the hospital, and he's about 67 years old. He loves golf, been retired for about 5 years, plays golf 3-4 times a week. Super, super good guy, great hearted person, great heart person. And the second time I went to visit him in the hospital, and he said, you know what? This guy was crying. He never cries, never seen him cry in my entire life. And he was like, I wish I could have gave you and your sister and your brother so much more. I've got a sister, older sister, younger brother, and he said, I wish I could have gave you all so much more. We didn't go on as many vacations as I wanted to. I wish I could have gave you more. I wish I would have bought a new set of golf clubs in the last few years. He's had the same set of golf clubs for 30 years. I never knew that. I don't play golf myself. I've never played golf with him. And, now that he's retired, he's got the same citations that he's had for 30 years. And he said, you know what? He gets the absolute most out of those citations. So me and my sister and brother, we're going to chip in, and we are going to buy him the clubs that he really wants. He just came home about a week and a half ago. We went and spent time with him today. His family's the most important thing, but we found out he had cancer. He was just in rough shape, just very bad shape. Like I said, he was in the hospital for almost a month. They did not know exactly what caused the infection. He had COVID. He had pneumonia. Anybody that knows me, several years ago, I almost died from COVID, was in the hospital for a month and a half. So, where I'm going with that is no regrets. Each and every month when you get your paycheck, you can think, I gave it my all. I did every single thing. I love sports. So I like giving the analogy, leaving everything on the field, leaving everything on the court. Right now it's March Madness. And I guarantee those college players, they are leaving everything on the court. And if they save some and then they don't actually leave it all on the court, then that person's going to have regrets for their entire life. And that's something that you don't want to do. It's something, and he mentioned also that he wanted to go to the Masters. So I'm going to do my best. Right now, he's still not the strongest, but if he gets, his stamina, his health back to walking for a longer period, I'm going to get him some tickets. We're going to go to the Masters. But where I was going again is just no regrets. When every single day, and I keep saying this, and I've lived this way because it was one of my favorite coaches of all time, John Wooden, said, make every day your masterpiece. You need to give it your all every single moment of every single day. Why waste a day? We do not know how many days that we have that we are going to live. We don't. It could be my last day. You think that you're young. You think that you're invincible. It doesn't work that way. So please, and let's just break that down into the sales industry. You have the ability to make as much money as you want to. You might think, no one here makes more than $8,000. It's just not possible. You can make $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month selling cars, or in any profession in the sales industry for the most part. It all, you are your book of business. If you retain your clients and you just keep getting new clients, new clients, new clients, but you also retain them, your previous ones, your book's going to grow and it's going to get bigger and bigger. And that's what I did in the automobile industry. And I did it where, if you bought from me, you came back for me because I kept following up. We became friends on social media. I sent you that happy birthday. I sent you a letter, a card saying, happy holidays. I messaged you when your kids were playing sports and say congrats and, all of that. People knew me, the real me, and I showed them that I cared. So again, no regrets. Give it your all. Most salespeople in the automobile industry, they don't make a ton of money. Why? It's because they don't really do it the right way. They don't give it their all every single day. And, like last night, I took over this dealership, a Chevy Buick GMC and a Nissan dealership, and I did it. The main reason is to document it so everybody can see my team, the dealership, turning it around in such a short amount of time. And it's just the proof's in the pudding. As the old saying goes, I wanted everybody to see how I can walk in there and train people, how I can motivate people, how we can turn it around and show the world, because I'm literally making these videos every single day. And, this time last year, they sold right at 70-something cars. 2 months ago, they sold right at 70 cars. Put up no money, no gross at all. Last month, we sold, in 4 days of working there, we sold like 20 cars. We've turned it around in such a short amount of time. This month, we'll do 130, roughly speaking, cars for probably $370,000 worth of gross. We doubled their income, doubled their units, and also quadrupled their gross, which is an amazing thing. And it all goes, and I haven't let anybody go. So this is using their same sales staff. It's just training. It's just setting more appointments. When people come in there, we close at a higher percent. We're closing at a higher internet percentage. Everybody is happy to go to work. Everybody's making more money. So, it's every day. I don't have any regrets. I really don't. I give it my all every single day. Today's Sunday, my off day. Last night, I literally my brain was racing. Last night, I worked the entire day. Got there at like 7-something in the morning, like 7:15. Actually, I think I got a little bit late. I think I got there like 7:30, 7:40. And then I worked until right at 6:30. Came home, and my brain was just racing literally until like the last time I remember looking at the clock, it was like 4:27. And then that's when I kind of turned the lights off and I quit writing, and my brain was still going for a little bit. I've got so many great ideas that I'm about to implement at the dealership, and we're going to go higher. My goal is to sell 200, 300, 400 cars. So just watch out. My brain, when it goes, you just keep going. A lot of people like my brain's racing, or some people's brain don't even race. That's another story in itself. But my brain was just racing last night, and I just kept writing down idea. And I'm going to implement those. Especially, I'm going to have a full month with all of these ideas. So I promise you, it's going to be monumental. I want to develop and grow this dealership to 253, 400 cars. I know I can do it. I know we can do it, I should say. It all goes back to hard work. It all goes back to no regret. So this video, it's all about, when you get your paycheck and you're like, damn, I wish I would have sold more cars. Why didn't you sell more cars? You got to understand that. You got to question yourself. What could I have done to sell more cars? And you got to implement that. So many people just literally go to work every day thinking just because I went to work, I worked hard. It doesn't work that way. You got to go to work and you got to bust your butt. Every minute of every single day, you have to be doing income producing activities. Income producing activities. If you go to work and BS with other people, you get your small paycheck, you have no one to blame but yourself. If you go to work and, a little bit you work and you get all of these minis, you need to get better at sales. There's so many things that you can do to make more money, to spend your time more effectively. So please, every single minute of every single day, give it your all. When you get that paycheck, that washout sheet, when you get your check, you do not want to say, you know what, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. What if I would have done it this way? You don't want to live with any regrets. Every single day, master your craft. Your mindset is the most important thing that you can ever do. And what I mean by that is you can have all of the skill sets. You can have everything. You can be so talented, but if you're mentally messed up in the head, like I was for a couple weeks because of what's going on in my family, I just wasn't mentally checked in. So please, it's time to make it just everything. Give it your all. Every single minute of every single day, please ask yourself, is this making me money or is this costing me money? Is this putting me towards my goals or is this getting further away from my goals? Really critique yourself in a good way. And I promise you, if you give it your all every single moment of every single day, you're going to look back and you're like, damn, I'm doing it. I'm accomplishing my goals. I'm going in the right direction. So please believe in yourself because I do. Make every single day your masterpiece. And tonight it's 9:45 filming this podcast. I'm about to lay it down, wake up tomorrow 5 o'clock, and I am going to make it happen. We're tracking 130 for $350,000 worth of gross. I want to get the gross up. I want to get the units up. So my goal tomorrow, I'm going to tell my entire team, we're going to put up 40-something cars in the last week. When my back's up against the wall, that's when I shine. Because you know what? I want to be they got 8, the automobile group I work for, they got 8 different dealerships. I want to be the number 1. We're already right there. We're going to be probably number 2. But if we finish strong, we can become number 1. So that's my goal. That's what we're going to accomplish. So set some goals for yourself. Set a clearly defined goals. Difference between a goal and it's not really defined. And then also deadlines. What are you going to do to accomplish them? What's going to happen? You got to think all of that and write it down. And every day read it a few times a day just to keep you laser focused. I love everybody listening to this. I'm a very passionate person. I'm walking around. My brain has still been racing all day today because you know what? I love sales. Sales is the greatest profession in the world. So many people get out of sales yeah, I used to be a salesman. Well, you know what? Used to be is not you just wasn't any good. If you get out of sales, there's a reason for that. People that really are great at sales, phenomenal, they'll always be a salesperson. I always tell people, and it's not really a thing, but it's I'm a salesperson. I'm a salesman. However you want to phrase that. I love sales. Sales has allowed me to become who I am. It's allowed me to live an amazing life where I grew up in a rough part of Louisville, Kentucky. And, it's so many people counted me down. So many people said, you ain't going to amount to anything. But you know what? It doesn't matter because I knew I wanted it and I was going to do anything to accomplish my goals. And here I am, a beautiful family, live in a beautiful place, and I'm going in the right direction. My sales training company the platform starts on March the 26th. It's going to have at least 17, 18 hours of content just to start with. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of videos to help everybody who is paying for it to have access to become better. That's my goal, is for people to become better. If I can help, several thousand people really quickly, that's my goal, is to help thousands and thousands and thousands of people become better at what they do. Sales, you can live the life that you want. You can be, sales is a very honorable profession. He's a salesperson. He's a terrible person. Not true. Some of the biggest hearted people I know are salespeople. Every single month, me and a very close group of friends, we go out and it's what's called a $100 tip dinner. We go out to a local small restaurant and we tip the waiter $600, $700, $800, $900. Everybody gives $100. And 2 people have cried since we've done that. We've only been doing it about 6-7 months. It's one of the greatest feelings in the world. Especially around Christmas time when it was a single mother that we gave, I think it was $700 or $800 to. It's amazing. So, sales, the profession, Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I would never want to get out of sales. I'll never get out of sales. Love it. But now I'm on the new chapter. I'm going to help this dealership, everybody in it, level up. We're going to get to 250, 300 cars, 400. I mean, we're going to do the dang on thing. So please believe in yourself, because I do. Make every single day your masterpiece. No regrets. That's this podcast. No regrets. Never say, you know what, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. If you want to do something, go do it. When I got out of the car business March 7th of 2023, I took an entire off to travel with my family. I spent 80 hours at least every single week for 5 years just busting my butt. Literally just giving it my all, because I'm going in the right direction. And you know what? When I got out, I said, you know what, baby? Pack your stuff. Let's go. And we literally traveled for an entire year. And people think like, damn, a year? Yes, a year. We traveled everywhere. It was spending that amount of time with my family was, and sales helped me do that. If I wasn't in sales, working an hourly job, I could have never saved up that much money. But sales has provided me, my family, like this lifestyle, and it created confidence in myself, where most people where I'm from, you don't have a ton of confidence in yourself. It's allowed me to spend an entire year with my family, watching them grow up, because for 5 years, only day I really kicked it with them or hung out with them was Sundays. I get up so early where my kids are still sleeping. I get home, I spend an hour and a half with them. So not a ton of time, not as much time as I want, but I know in the future, you know what, I'm going to have the freedom to do what I want to because of sales. So no regrets. Believe in yourself, because I do, and make every single day your masterpiece. No regrets. Love you all. If you need anything, I still get a ton of comments from people saying, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? Send me a text message, 502-802-9469. I love every single person out there. I got your back.